Hello YouTube. Today I want to tell you about one of my little folders, and I'm talking about this little guy. Is a folder from Japan. Is a Higonokami knife. I don't know what the name means, but I know that at the first sight this will seem not very good folder, and probably with the handle you may be right. The handle is a simple piece of metal that is bent. The blade is kept in place by a nut, very simple, and I think the folder should be easy to open with one hand, but mine is not, because probably it's too tight in this area. I don't know, maybe if I use it more, probably this will loosen up and well, it will be easy to open. But as I said, at the first sight it seems not a very good folder, but at this little folder that is important, that is extraordinary, is the blade. Why am I saying that? Because the producer said that the steel in the blade is the same steel that was used to make samurai swords. And when I tell you that the steel is very good, I referring not only that the quality of the steel is exquisite, but also the fact that the blade is made from a triple laminated steel. What I mean, the part that is in the middle is a very high quality steel that help keeping the edge very long time, and the sides of the blade are made from a steel that is not so hard, that is not is a little soft, and that also help the blade keep a good edge, but prevent the chipping or rolling at the principal core steel. The way to make it is very ancient in Japan, and I think that they are doing it right. The producer said that this folder is made by hand, and I think that he is right, because the blade is, I think, high saber and a little like Scandi knives, but also have a very pronounced secondary bevel. And if you see, probably this part is wider than this part, and also the secondary bevel is wider on this part than on this part. So probably the blade of the folder was not made by a machine, but it was made by a man who doesn't get it right. But this fact doesn't mean that the blade is not a very good one. So enough talking, let's test the quality of the blade in wood. This wood is not very green at this moment, so it will be a little challenge, but I think that this little folder will do it. So let's try to put a tip on the piece of wood. Let's try it this way. I'm not putting very much pressure, and as you can see, I have obtained a very sharp point only by the pressure applied with my thumb. So that demonstrates that the blade is very, very, very cutting. Let's try to put a big notch here to simulate a notch to hang our pot. And also, as you can see, I'm not using anything else than my hand to make the notch. And that demonstrates again the cutting abilities of this little blade. And if we continue, we will obtain a very good big notch that will help us to hang our pot over the fire. This is what I have obtained only with the help of this little folder. Due to his a little size, it is very nimble and we can dig underneath, so we can obtain a very wide big notch that permits us to hang even wider pot hanger. This is what I have obtained. I will try also a 7 notch. The stick was not too thick. I will try, as I said, a 7 notch. This also will be easy to do with that little knife. And as I said, with very little effort, I obtained a 7 notch that will permit the hanging of our rope around it. So, we have seen that the notch is very good. Let's see how it feathers. I have here a piece of resinous wood, and I will try to make feather stick out a bit with the help of this little knife. As you can see, the wood is not very straight, but because the blade is very, very, very cutty, it's very sharp, I am able to obtain very thin curls that will help us, if needed, to light a fire. And I'm not kidding. This blade is very, very good. This is the kind of shavings that I obtained, and probably, if I will continue, I will obtain also very good shavings. With this kind of shavings, we can light a fire without any problem. So, now let's test the back of the blade. The back of the blade also is very crisp. You can hear, we can use it to obtain the fatwood dust that also will help us to make a fire. There's a warning: the folder do not have a lock mechanism, so we must be very, very careful not to close it over our finger, because the blade cut very well and this is not very good to have the blade closed on our fingers. So let's try to obtain the feather dust. I am putting pressure with my thumb over the blade to prevent it to close. I have to level a little the fat wood, but in this moment you can see that with the help of this little folder we can obtain a fat wood dust that we need to light a fire. We can do it some more, but what I wanted to show you, I showed. This knife is very good for bushcraft tasks. We can also make feather sticks, feathers from the fat wood. That will eventually help us also to light our fire. This is very easy with that little folder. So, my conclusions is that the handle is not very good. Look, on my hand we can see the place where the handle pressed on my finger, but the blade is exquisite. Is this a knife that I will take in the wood as my only knife? Of course not. Is this a folder that I could get out of a nasty situation with the help of it? Certainly yes. Is this a very good ADC knife? Yes, yes, yes. 3 times yes. This is a very good ADC knife. This is a very light folder. This is a very small folder, and as you can see, and also you have seen, the blade is very, very sharp, and it have very good cutting capabilities. The possibilities of this folder are well beyond its size. Well, this is all I have to show you for today. Thank you for watching, and a very good weekend for you all.